Hey guys, Marcus Melnick here with Firearm Mentor. Hope you're enjoying my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. These little things are free to you and really help the channel. I appreciate your support. Enjoy. Thank you. The views expressed are not those of local community broadcasting, WYML LP, or its management, volunteers, or underwriters. Greetings and welcome to the Personal Safety Show. This is Marcus Melnick from Firearm Mentor and Stress to Logic, your host. And last fall, I actually spoke at the Midwest Security Police Conference and Expo, which I believe was in Tinley Park, Illinois. And I met a company called CaseGuard, and I have a representative on the line, Nika Bekovic. Nika, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Marcus. It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you share with everyone, what is your personal origin story? What's your background, and how did you get involved with your current company?
Yeah, definitely. So I graduated in 2016 with a bachelor's in science, in psychology, and a minor in biology from St. Louis University. And at the time, I was running my own personal training and coaching business online. And while I loved speaking with people and working with everyone from different walks of life, I knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do long term. And then kind of come the pandemic, that's when I really started looking at different opportunities that might be available. AI specifically was not something that I had sought out, but I did want to work in a science-related field as it matched my background and interests. And I learned about CaseGuard through LinkedIn. Video redaction really piqued my interest, as I knew a lot of people in the fitness industry that were struggling to make workout content at the gym due to the amount of people that were present in the background of these videos. So they would have to go really late at night, very early in the morning, or even rent out the gym off hours in order to make this content. And I saw a YouTube video on CaseGuard's LinkedIn channel and how it would automatically remove dozens of people within the video. And my mind was really blown because I'd never seen anything like that before. So I took the opportunity, and I was fortunate enough to be hired on at CaseGuard as one of the first sales representatives, where I very quickly learned how impressive the technology truly is. We worked alongside the development team, marketing, to really bring the best product we could to our end users.
Very good. And so is CaseGuard a new company? Newer company?
No, so CaseGuard's actually been around so we incorporated the company in 2011, but
Okay.
It's been on the market, I would say, since 2014. And the company came about because one of our co-founders, he actually worked with evidence management systems beforehand, and he developed the software that would track evidence and be able to market with different tags. And he was the senior product manager. So his role was split between engineering the product and speaking with end users to get feedback on how it can be better, as he was the one that was also developing the product. And he noticed that a constant pain point was redaction when he was speaking with end users, because not only was there no AI redaction solution available, there was no redaction solution available for video. And our CEO, Sean, he actually quit his job so that he could develop CaseGuard with the sole goal to empower law enforcement and government agencies with a redaction solution that can redact really any file type from any source. And today, after 11 years, not only can we do redaction, but we are the leader for video, audio, document, and images, which is quite exciting.
I'm going to throw you a curveball because you said something that really piqued my interest. You said that one of the developers had developed a system to put labels on evidence. Was that system by any chance called the Beast? Barcode, something.
I'm actually not 100% sure. I know that there was some sort of barcode system in place before I ever started working at CaseGuard, so it might be.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because that is a software that I used when I worked in public safety. Part of what I did was I had to audit the evidence room. So I just, it popped into my head. That's all. All right, cool.
Got it, yeah.
So we're talking about CaseGuard, and we're talking about video redaction. So obviously, to me, redacting people in a video in a law enforcement scenario would be a great thing when taken to court, when given to the media. What other and you mentioned working out or filming content, doesn't have to be a movie, TV show, especially if it's like a reality thing, and masking out the identities of people. What other applications would this be appropriate in?
Yeah, so with video redaction, I think that it's more essential now than it ever has been, and not just for compliance, but also for transparency and for protecting individuals and their privacy. Now, cameras are everywhere and they are continuing to rise. So most police departments do have body-worn cameras. If they don't, they are in the process of getting them. Surveillance cameras are at an all-time high. Many people have Ring doorbell cameras, same with dashboard cameras. And with all of this footage, there is also a responsibility to protect the identity and privacy of people that don't want to be included. This is especially important for victims of crimes, witnesses of crimes, minors, and undercover officers. So, of course, we do work with a lot of police departments when it comes to public records requests. So if someone requests footage regarding their interaction with the police, depending on the state's laws, they may have a right to privacy in public, they might not. But whenever they are maybe in the privacy of their own home, they absolutely do have that right. So before that footage is released either to them or to the media, it does need to be redacted.
Okay.
Similarly, like you mentioned with legal, if prosecutors are redacting private information when preparing discovery for defense counsel. But we also work really heavily, I would say, with schools to comply with FERPA, which is a federal law to protect minors in footage, and of course HIPAA, so anything related to hospitals or medical, and removing that sensitive information, whether it be from documents, from body-worn camera footage, from surveillance footage within the hospital. There are so many different applications for redaction.
So does CaseGuard also do text redaction? Is that what I just heard you say?
Yep. So we do documents, we do emails, PST files, even TXT files. So really any file type that you can think of, we can redact it in our system.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Now, this is just a mechanical, how does it all work thing. I'm guessing you keep the original file, make a copy of it, and redact the copied file. At least that's what I would do. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. When someone adds a file into CaseGuard, which CaseGuard is a local on-premise Windows application, so none of the files will ever leave the client's computer until they're ready to share it. So once we add a file into CaseGuard, we do create a copy of the original file, leaving the original file untouched.
Okay, very good, very good. And I'm guessing, well, redacting still photos is a silly question because we could do that anyway, just by putting a smiley face emoji over the faces. I'm kind of being silly right now. Sorry.
No worries.
My
but
mind
we do
went
have
weird.
Images.
Okay, very good. So other than healthcare, FERPA, which actually I'm familiar with, we don't want to FERPalate. That's a joke someone I worked with used to say when there was a violation. We FERPalated. So what other industries do you work with, or do you work with fire departments possibly?
Yes, we do work with fire departments and other government agencies, a lot of federal agencies, but also maybe some state-specific agencies such as certain cities or municipalities. Right. Of course, law enforcement agencies, legal firms, the education sector, healthcare, casinos, telecommunications, airports, retail, really any industry that has a significant amount of data that they either ingest or collect, whether that is through documents, through video, through phone calls, CaseGuard can help.
Okay, so how does the video software work? Is it just we identify the people who we want in the video and then it blurs out everyone else? Or how do you identify who should be in the video and who shouldn't, or how does the client identify it?
Yeah, so with CaseGuard, we do have some pretty robust AI models that we've been training internally for over 10 years at this point, which helps us automate those tedious and repetitive redaction tasks. So when someone goes to redact faces, as you had mentioned in this example, let me backtrack. Okay. So when someone goes to redact something in CaseGuard, you can select the different objects that you want the AI to run through and automatically detect and redact. And we have 12 different objects that we can automatically scan through and find, including things like people's faces, but we also have full body, which is really useful for those schools or anytime we're working with juveniles. We have screens, which is going to capture MDT screens in squad cars, cell phones, computer monitors, and so on. We have license plates as well as entire vehicles. We have Notepad, which is really, really useful for body-worn cameras, especially when private information is written down on them. We also have text detection, logo detection, barcodes, checks, credit cards, and signatures. So those 12 objects. And we allow the user to select whatever object they want to redact, select the shape and effect that they want to apply, as in, do they want it to be blurred, pixelated, filled, or even add an enhancement effect. And then the AI scans through and it finds all of the objects that fall under that specific category that you told it to find. And we also have something within the system called this object detection panel, which does include all of the objects that were found within that video. And then the user can very easily disable these redactions, meaning remove them from the file, so that you're only redacting the people or objects that you need while leaving everything else unredacted.
Very good. And as an AI application, I don't know if your company does this, but can it read license plates? Oh, I don't mean just show up on an image. What I mean is read a license plate, submit it to a crime database, find out if there's criminals in the area, or if there's like child sex offenders driving around a school looking for victims. Does your software do that as well?
So right now, what CaseGuard does, we don't just do redaction where you can blur things. We also have enhancement effects where you can make a license plate readable. So you can zoom in, you can stack multiple enhancement effects on top of each other to make it legible. Now, from there, you can take a snapshot and export that out of CaseGuard and then add it into another solution that can help identify that specific license plate and who it belongs to. Okay. Right now, we don't have a recognition model. It's more of just detection.
Okay, very good. It's kind of like in the movies, but probably
yes.
Not as what the movies portray as technologically advanced, because they do some sci-fi stuff when they do that as well.
Oh, they sure do. Yeah.
So cool. So what conferences does CaseGuard regularly attend?
Great question. We are actually attending 50 conferences this year, so quite a few. Right, we have a lot of people that are going to these conferences between our sales representatives, account management, and some of our management team as well. But the conferences that we focus on are primarily law enforcement conferences, along with security and education. So for specific conferences, you had mentioned the MSTCE conference at the start of this podcast. And last year was our first time attending, so we will be attending again this year, as well as the following years. Similarly, with the International Association of Chiefs of Police, we've gone a few times. NATIA, which is the Technical Investigators Conference, we've gone to every year. So there are many that we will be attending. We're pretty much hitting one in every state, so there is some information that I'll be sharing a little bit later on how your users can find us if we're attending a conference around them.
Terrific. So tell me about the culture at CaseGuard.
Yeah, I love this question. I feel like we've been really lucky at CaseGuard because we have a very, very collaborative work environment. Different teams work with each other really every single day to ensure that we're bringing our clients the best experience possible. So I am the sales manager, so of course I manage my sales team, but I also work really closely with account management, with IT support and with our development team to ensure that what our potential clients are requesting within the software is implemented, added in, and works exactly how they want it to.
Very good. And you're located in Virginia? Or the company is located in Virginia, I should say.
Yes, so we are headquartered in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay. Is that the only office, or are there offices throughout the United States?
So that's our only office. We do have some remote employees, so I am currently based in Denver, Colorado.
Ah, okay. Very good, very good. That makes sense to me that you'd have people non-co-located because there's users all over the world, really. Exactly. Do you have international customers?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yep. We work with, I would say we have a customer on every continent at this point.
Every continent? Even Antarctica?
Well, except Antarctica.
Okay, I'm teasing you.
One exception.
Okay, every habited in continent.
Yes.
Okay, that was just totally me messing with you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But all good. So you love. Sounds like a great company to work for.
It really is.
This is your area of, and I'm quite impressed. And I don't say that in all my shows, but I'm quite impressed. What am I not asking you that I should be asking you about CaseGuard? What did I miss? Because it's your area of expertise, not mine.
Yeah, so we talked about the video redaction and some of the AI processes, which is definitely the core of what we do. But I would say the other factor to consider that CaseGuard has that most solutions on the market do not have, and that's the ability to do the redaction and processing in bulk. And what that means is, let's just stick with video because we've been talking about that up until this point. Let's say that a officer-involved shooting happens, and there are, 30 different officers that showed up to that scene. They all have their body-worn camera footage available that needs to be redacted before it's released to the media. Now, while you could go one by one and run the detection and make sure that things are looking good, we also have the option to do all of this in bulk. So you can tell the system, hey, I want to redact names, notepads, and screens from all of these videos. On top of that, I want you to transcribe all of the audio. If there's another language that's being spoken, that's not a problem, as CaseGuard does support over 100 different languages and dialects. And we also have an option to detect multiple languages within our transcription. So if there are multiple languages being spoken, you can ensure that both of them are being transcribed. And we can also tell the system to remove specific private identifiable information from the audio. And we do have over 30 different categories available, including things like name, phone, address, age, social security number, credit card or banking information, driver's license numbers, passport numbers, profanity, whatever they'd like. And then we can even burn those, the transcription captions into the file itself, so that all of this work is being done by CaseGuard, not by you. And then the end user or the person that's working on the redaction would log in and take a look, review, maybe remove some redactions that don't need to be there, export the file, and then they're done with their work. So it really, really helps save significant amount of time, especially for people that are in the trenches, I would say, when it comes to redacting, because it can be an incredibly time-consuming feat that just takes a lot of time. And oftentimes agencies are spending a lot of money on overhead for overtime to make sure that these requests are completed in an appropriate time frame. Because the other thing that we need to consider is that depending on what the state law is, they also do have a deadline in terms of when they need to release this information. So being able to process all of that data in bulk really saves them time and also ensures that they are being compliant with laws.
It sounds like a really robust software. I'm not asking you the prices, but I'm guessing it is not cheap. And
it's actually much more affordable than you might think it might be.
Well,
yeah.
my where I was going with this was, are there grants available for departments to apply for to get this type of software that you know of?
There are. So there was actually a federal grant that became available in 2021 for body-worn cameras. And that grant does also include redaction software for body-worn cameras. So many agencies are able to apply to that. Now, the availability is also, I believe, based on states, just because this grant did come live about 4 years ago. But if the last time I looked up, there were at least a couple of grants in most states that I was looking at.
Okay, that's great. That's I used to write grants. That was part of my job, and I would always look for like softwares like this. I wrote one for license plate reader software back then when that was new. I'm talking a long time ago because I'm old. You could laugh. That's okay. What final thoughts can you share regarding CaseGuard and its applications?
Yeah, so some final thoughts. I did mention, of course, all of the video stuff, but with CaseGuard, we are really the only all-in-one redaction solution that is available out there. And we are leading the market with our AI. In the past 2 years, we have really dominated the law enforcement and government sectors, and now we're attending more conferences within different industries with the goal to reach others who might not know that our technology exists, but they do have the pain point of redaction. And the other thing is we are currently working on an API. I did mention that we are a local on-prem system, but this API is in the works, and also the goal of that is to make CaseGuard accessible to anyone, not just businesses. So being able to upload an image and redact your children before adding it onto social media, or removing people that are walking behind you in a YouTube video that you wanted to post. So this is something that we will have by the end of the year, and we're really, really excited to get CaseGuard into as many hands as possible.
Whoa, my wheels are turning right now. What would the cost be for an individual use, or would it be per like upload, or you might not even have that developed yet? I'm not sure.
Yes, we don't have the pricing for that developed currently. However, I'd be more than happy to share the pricing of our software currently if we're allowed to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and shoot. That was a joke, but go ahead and tell us.
Yeah. So we do have 4 different license types that are available, and it really starts at $99 per month, going up to about $330 per month, depending on the license type that you want and the functionality that you want. So if it's just document, we have a license for that. If it's just video, we have a license for that. But if you want video, audio, documents, images, emails, bulk, really anything you can think of, that would be within our premium plan.
You are right. Wow, that is very affordable, especially for a municipality. I would have thought it would be in the thousands per month, so that's really refreshing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we tend to surprise people when we share pricing.
Well, I'm glad you're on the show. This is great. How can people find out more? What's your website, contact information? How can they inquire about learning more, possibly getting the product for their own business or government agency?
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants to learn more, they can go to CaseGuard.com. That is all one word. And within the website, there is a lot of resources that are available to you. We have videos, we have graphics, we have case studies, we have testimonials. It's a very good resource for just learning more about the system. And we do also have an events tab where you can see all of the different conferences that we're going to. So if we will be going to a conference in your area, I would definitely recommend stopping by and saying hi. We'll be in the U.S. and Canada for these conferences. And if anyone wants to reach me directly, you can always email sales@caseguard.com. And my phone number, if anyone wants to give me a call, is 571-446-4145.
Very good. And when I post this to YouTube, that will all be in the description, the website, the phone number, all that, so it'll make it easy for people. Nika, thank you very much for taking the time to educate our listeners on CaseGuard and privacy and all the wonderful things that you do. This was a fantastic interview. Thank you for appearing on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much, Marcus. I really appreciated the opportunity.
I want my listeners to know that this is my dream. Teaching people about safety. If it weren't for you, if it weren't for my listeners, I couldn't live my dream. So on behalf of my family and myself, I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to live my dream. And I also want to continue to live my dream, and I'm excited to continue to spread the word of safety. Recently, I began a new service as a conference keynote speaker. So if anyone would like for me to speak at future events, or if anyone knows of an introduction or would like to discuss how we can work with one another, I'd love to do just that. The keynote speaking website is www.stress2logic.com. That is STRES2logic.com. If you're aware of any conference speaking engagements where you'd like to have me speak, I'd love an introduction. You can always share my electronic business card, which is Marcus Melnick, MarcusMelnick.com. Now, back to the show. So the conference that she was talking about is called the Midwest Security and Police Conference and Expo. Their website is M as in Mary, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, C as in Charlie, E as in Expo.com. This year, it's going to be August 14th and 15th at the Tinley Park Convention Center in Tinley Park, Illinois. They have an app, and I spoke last year. It's a great expo. They've got all sorts of vendors. Anything that a public safety organization would need, including education. There is the FBI National Academy there, as well as colleges, as well as the Law Enforcement Training Board. If you're in public safety, it is a great conference to go to. They have great speakers. I was one of them. All right, I'm teasing. But stay tuned for the second half of the show where we're going to be discussing some developments in the firearms industry. Stay tuned. The views expressed are not those of local community broadcasting, WYML LP, or its management, volunteers, or underwriters.